make this precious rag quilt? Super easy. 10-inch squares, comes together really fast, and it looks amazing. But first, always remember to share this so it will save to your profile and you can find it when you're looking for it again later. Y'all are loving a rag quilt, and you know what? I am too. And if you are not sure about a rag quilt, then do one that's 10 inches by 10 inches. So the squares are 10 by 10, the flannel's 10 by 10. It's so easy, so easy. So the first thing I did was took two 10-inch by 10-inch squares. I laid one pretty side down, and then I put 2 layers of flannel. I like 2 layers of flannel. You don't have to put 2 layers of flannel, or you can make your whole rag quilt top and bottom with flannel. You do need some flannel though, so it'll rag. If you don't have flannel, then it doesn't rag quite as pretty. So I put one 10-inch square face down, 2 layers of flannel, one 10-inch square face up. Now you can quilt this any way you want to. I just sewed an X over it. Do you see that? Now I have a whole bunch of them. We're gonna sew them together, and it's so easy, so easy. I already sewed these because y'all do not want to watch me for 7 years sew a bunch of squares together. You're gonna decide what is the front and what is the back. And then you're gonna put your front sides facing out. Do you see that? Front side, front side. Now, I'm gonna sew right here, but I'm gonna sew this with a 5/8 1/2-inch seam because we're gonna clip it and we want space to clip it so that we don't clip our seams that we're sewing. I always clip mine, always. Doesn't matter, I could give it a 5-inch seam allowance and I'd still clip it, but 5/8 is kind of the sweet spot. So we're gonna sew this with a straight stitch, 5/8 seam allowance, back stitching when we start and when we stop. Now, we're gonna open it up, take our next one, and put it pretty sides on the outside. And we're gonna sew it the same way. And we're gonna continue sewing until we have all of these sewn together. Our rag quilt is 42 squares for the top and 42 squares for the bottom. So you can get 2 layer cakes. 1 layer cake for the top and 1 layer cake for the bottom. So that's what this one is. It has the same fabric on the top and on the bottom, so the front and the back will look exactly the same. Or you can do 42 squares of printed fabric, and then you can make all of your back pieces the same. I've done them both ways, and I like them both ways. It kind of depends on my mood and what I have available too. I'm definitely a use what I have kind of girl. Now that doesn't mean I don't love to buy fabric, because I do, but when I buy fabric, I never or hardly ever know what I'm making with it. I wait until it tells me what it wants to be. Or I have some bright idea and I go dig in my stash to see what it is that I can use to create it. Okay, so now we've sewn our row together. We're gonna add it to another row. And we're gonna add those together by putting the part that's raggy, so this is what will rag, and the back side will be smooth. We want to put those together. Now, lots of questions about whether or not you open your seams when you're sewing it together. Some of my students do, some of them do not. I don't like the way that it rags when it's open, but I'm not saying that's right. I'm just saying it's my personal preference. So you do it however you want to do it. But I'm going to sew mine, and I'm just going to point the seams in different directions. I'm going to point that one up and this one down as I go. But if you want to open yours, that's what I want you to do. And we're going to sew this the same way with a 5/8 inch seam, so we have room to clip it, or wider. You can sew it 3/4 inches or a whole inch. And if you're like me, you'll still clip the seams. Every time I clip a rag quilt and then I wash it, it has ventilation. I can see sunlight through it when I hold it up, but it's easy enough to go back and fix the holes too. Do you want to know how I know it's easy to fix the holes? Because every single time I make a rag quilt, I have to fix holes, but it's worth it, I promise. And the best part about a rag quilt is when you're done, you're done. After you're finished, there's no other step. Okay, so we've sewn 2 rows together. Now I've sewn all of the rest of my rows together so that I could actually finish this tutorial. So now we're going to do this one the same way. We're just adding this row to the rest of the quilt that's already been sewn together with the raggy sides up. You see I've already clipped some of these, and raggy sides down. So all of the smooth side and smooth side is on the inside. So it's still pretty side to pretty side, if you want to look at it that way. You're going to line up your seams and sew this one, and then I'll show you how to rag it. One of my sewing students told me if you would sew a row and rag it and sew a row and rag it, it wouldn't be so miserable at the end, because the clipping is the worst part, to me anyway. And did I mention that sewing student was a genius? Because she's right. Okay, we've sewn it. Now it's time to clip it. So my students tell me, and they're kind of genius. Do you see this? That if you sew a row and clip a row and sew a row and clip a row, that it's not nearly as miserable, because I don't love the clipping part. It takes 4,000 years, it feels like. And y'all know my attention span is not that good. After you've sewn this, then I've already sewn some of this. Do you see this? About 1 inch all the way around. You're going to go and sew that just with a straight seam. You see it? So that you have room to clip it. And then in here, you're going to take your snips and you're just going to clip about 1/8 of an inch apart. Or that's what they say, but I don't know who's got the patience to clip 1/8 of an inch. Well, I do know. Sweet Jamie at my retreat had the patience to clip 1/8 of an inch, and her stuff was so beautiful. Missouri Star Quilt Company has just released their own rag snips. Kind of amazing. So I'm going to clip and clip and clip. After I clip, it's going to look like this. And one of my students had this at the retreat. It's a boar's head brush, and y'all, it's kind of genius. I'm into a nail brush because, you know, I do not have the patience to wait until it's washed. I want to see what it's going to look like right away. And this brush is incredible. She had it, and I was like, wait a minute, what is that? So then I immediately ordered some from, you know, my favorite place, Amazon. And they had the most genius idea ever to get like a mesh laundry bag and to wash your quilt in it. That it would contain some of the dust. It's not going to contain all of it, but it would contain some of it because it makes so much lint. Look at this, just coming off of this right here. And then you have the most precious rag quilt ever. Let me hold it up and let y'all see. Do you see how adorable that is? Now, you go rag yours, and I'm going to finish ragging mine. My name is Tammy. I'm your favorite sewing teacher, and I would love for you to come sew with me.